Okay, welcome to another edition of The Amazing Adventure. This is study number 50, big milestone. Been doing these all year. We went through all 31 episodes in The Amazing Adventure book, 21 Bible characters, including God, and now we're going through each book of the Bible through the rest of the year. We started with Genesis, and now we're in First Kings, and we can see the continuation of the story of David. David passes on. He passes the kingdom to his son Solomon. Solomon is commissioned to build the temple. He's doing a great job. He builds a beautiful temple which represents like the Garden of Eden, back to the garden, which is in Genesis. And then we see he gets wealthy, and Queen of Sheba hears about this wealth, and she comes to visit him. She brings all kind of wealth to him. They trade gifts back and forth, and then his downfall starts when he marries about over hundreds of wives, and they bring their gods. These are wives from the Midianites, the Canaanites, the different groups, and they're bringing their gods into Israel, and he adopts some of this, and that's his downfall. And in chapter 12, we see another mountain peak chapter. My Bible professor used to lay out the mountain peak chapters, and we see that the kingdom divides, and Solomon continues in the south, but the northern Jeroboam takes over the northern kingdom. And that just weakens Israel, but that's what happened. Eventually, we see the Assyrians attack and take over and take them in exile, and same with the Babylonians. But that's ongoing in the story. But in this book here, we go on into Second Kings. Now, these used to be one book. Kings was one book, but we've divided in 1 and 2 now. But we see the prophets come on the scene, because with all the corruption and the kings that followed Solomon and Jeroboam, there's like 20 kings to the north. I think zero out of 20 were righteous and good. I think all of them were evil. And then in the south, I think there's a few good ones mixed in here and there. But basically, we just see that and the prophets come on the scene to straighten the kings out. Elijah is a man after God's own heart, and he raises a kid from the dead. We see that. We see the ravens feeding him food, and he trusts God by the brook for water. And then we see the widow, and how she's able to use the flour, and it continues to feed them until the drought ends. So we see some amazing miracles, and then God uses his voice to speak truth. And we see him handing off to Elisha in the second chapter, in the second book of Kings. We'll get to that next week. But right now, and if you want notification of that, just ring the bell. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and on the YouTube, and you'll get the notification when that next one comes out. Make sure you like this too if you can. It really help maybe get it out there to more people. But yeah, the prophets are helping these kings that were walking after their flesh know who their identity was. They should be looking ahead to Christ, to God's salvation, because they should realize that their sin is not gonna make it. You know, we need a savior, and we need a king that's walking in truth, and walking in righteousness, and walking in holiness and purity. And the only one that could ever do that was Jesus. And so when he comes on the scene hundreds of years later, we realize that, hey, that's the king we've been waiting for. It wasn't David, it wasn't Solomon, but it's King Jesus, and he's the one we're all waiting for today in these times. So I hope you have a blessed day here, blessed Sunday, and hope you get in the Word, read it, and see how God speaks to you, and read each book of the Bible if you can in one sitting. And I think God will really speak to you and direct your life. God bless you.